This is part 2, where I interview Memo. In a previous video, I interviewed Memo, and we talked about his lifestyle, having a partner, living in Mexico, living on a minimalist lifestyle, living out of his Social Security for 2 people, and it's a really interesting interview. Stay tuned for the end, and we'll go through the numbers with you. But in the beginning, I wanted to give you a glimpse into Memo's lifestyle, how him and his partner are able to live on $500 a month out of one Social Security check. Also, being able to have funds to build a house and build a business.
I think that it's really important to know what you really need in life. And then there's the want, but the wants change. The thing is, with a need, you can have a very satisfying life. I don't feel as if I've been taken away from anything, that I've been shorted in any way. I wake up every day in paradise with a wonderful weather, and it's what more would I need if I didn't already have it.
Right.
For someone that doesn't drink or smoke, that retired with a high level of anxiety, the anxiety doesn't exist anymore. Plus, I'm kind of healthy, and that's the vitamins, nutrients, and antioxidants in not only the moringa, but the turmeric, the neem. I mean, here in the tropics, we have such an abundance of fabulous, fabulous things that you can have here. The pineapples, the bananas, the noni. It's the yard right now has in it moringa trees and fruit trees and different vegetable plants, which during the rainy season grow on their own. And that doesn't cost much money whatsoever. Well, we have a very large community here of people who are enjoying life similar to the life that I'm leading. And we do barter.
Okay.
I grow the moringa, and from the moringa I make different food products, and I don't always receive money for them. Sometimes I receive in trade some food or something else that someone makes. You know, we have artists here, and we have clothing manufacturers.
So that's interesting. So you have a network of people here that actually are living the lifestyle. So it's not like you're, the only person doing it here. So that helps, because then you have like a core group that you can share ideas, and like you say, you can barter and exchange things with them. That's great, because a lot of places, you'd be the only person, and that there's not a support system around that. But here it is.
That's one of the reasons that we chose Lo de Marcos, is because of the community.
Okay.
The community mindedness of sharing and caring. It's a very, very important thing here. So I saw this video, and I'm going to move to Mexico and have the life of my dreams. It's not going to happen. You need to do one of 2 things. You either need to own real estate where you come from, or you need a savings account. Don't come here without anything in a savings account. You will be disappointed in short order. And it's people come here, they stay for a couple of months, and they leave with their tail between their legs, very sad, very disenchanted. And I see it all the time, and it's such a shame. But I also see people who have worked for 30 years, saved up their money in a savings account or in real estate, diversify, divest themselves from it, move down here, and live a life 3 times what they could have lived had they stayed where they were. Cheaper, more enjoyable, less cold. Right?
Quality of life.
Quality of life.
Have a hiking group that you organize. What other functions do you organize throughout the year that gives back to the community and they reciprocate back to you?
Well, first of all, we do a walk once a week, and we do a hike once a week.
Okay.
And I have 2,000 followers on Facebook for the walks and the hikes. And those people, it's sometimes difficult to receive, but this wonderful shirt was given to me by one of my hikers.
Okay.
And one of my walkers gave me the shorts. And I earned it. I earned it by leading that. but also in the community that we have here, we support each other. And I'm part of the recycle organization here.
Okay.
Once a week, I help pick up the recycle.
You personally don't make any money in the recycling. You're not doing it for that reason.
No.
Okay. Now, and also your hiking and your walking groups, that's your free time that you're giving. You're not charging for that.
I am not charging, and but it's wonderful because one of the other things that I give back to the community is everything that I have learned. When we go on a hike or a walk, I can point out neem trees, parota trees, every bird's nest, different types of birds, different types of plants. There's so much here to learn and to share, and I love it.
Yeah.
I've been in Mexico for 20 years.
20 years.
I've been in Lo de Marcos for 10 years. And I've been under construction for 3 years.
Because now you're getting Social Security.
That's right. The thing is, though, when I turned 65, I began to receive $1,685 a month from the United States government, sent directly to Mexico. That $1,685 translates to 30,000 pesos a month. I'm rich in Mexico.
You are rich.
I could not survive in that country that I came from, which I love. But here, I can not only survive, I can prosper. I can eat, I can buy land, I can build a home, and it's all possible. But my spouse is Mexican.
Okay.
And used to living on a minimalistic type of lifestyle, as I do myself.
Right.
And remember, first of all, where we live, in a small pueblo, we also enjoy milk and tortillas, which are government regulated. You can't pay more than 30 pesos for a liter of milk here. So unless you really like to spend, you don't have to. But also it's important, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, we don't drink and we don't smoke. So that's a big saving.
Yeah.
I forgot to add 2 things. One, I'm a vegetarian. So I don't eat meat. And there's cooking at home. Restaurants are something you do once a month. You know, so I'm retired, but I'm living a retired life that I enjoy.
Buying your food, like in open markets and stuff?
Yes, we have incredible open markets for fruit and vegetables.
How do you divide that $1,635 a month?
3 ways.
Okay.
The first third goes towards current construction costs.
Okay.
All right, so that equaled, I think we said, about $500.
$500 for construction.
Okay. A third of that goes towards living. Food, entertainment, dog food, all those good things. And a third of that goes towards savings for future needs, whether that be medical or something else. In California, I had a lot of debt. And my daughter would have inherited a lot of property with a lot of debt. Now in Mexico, there is no debt whatsoever. What I have, I own. The land, the house, the 20-year-old car, and my daughter will end up inheriting most of that debt-free.
But also, now you've written a book and you have that on Amazon.
That's right, on Amazon.com.mx. It's a book in Mexico. So it's Amazon.com.mx, and that's where you look up Moringa of Mexico. It's a Kindle book, or it's a paperback that you can order it. And it's a book, although it's entitled Moringa of Mexico, the first third of it is about moringa, and the rest of it is about living here in the tropics with scorpions and snakes and tarantulas and foxes, and oh my gosh, I could go on forever.
So that book sounds like it would be a good book for somebody who's thinking about moving to the tropics and area, and give them introductory to the area. They may not even be interested in moringa.
That's true. That's true. Yes, it is. It is the tropical lifestyle.
Tropical lifestyle, your own personal experience.
Yes.
So now construction, $500 a month for construction. So tell us how you're doing that. You know, you don't think of people, having a budget amount and then they buy. So give the audience how that can work for somebody in the way you're doing the whole process.
I build it in what I call a typical Mexican fashion, that at the beginning of the month we take 10,000 pesos, which we've decided is $500. We go to the place where you buy stuff, and we buy $500 worth of bricks, cement, mortar, rebar, whatever's needed. And they deliver it, a pile of those items. And then the work is begun. The work is begun and by one contractor, sometimes a helper. This is not a crew. And they work at building the bricks, the cement, the mortar, and when they finish that pile, they go fishing or surfing until next month when we buy more. So not in a rush here.
The land that you bought here, you're out in the country, beautiful surroundings here, and the nature. Is that, let's say the lot here, and if somebody wanted to build in this area, they could contact you, right?
Oh, sure.
Okay, so we'll drop in his email and his contact information. If you want to know more about his products and his book, you can contact Memo through that. But so if somebody did want to buy information at least, or do you don't sell real estate, or do you? Okay.
But let's talk about that since you can always decide later. A piece of land here is called ejido land, which can only be owned by a national, a Mexican.
A Mexican.
Okay? Many people from other countries shy away from that because they want something called a title. Okay? But let me tell you just real quick, since you brought it up, that here there's a piece of ejido land. I want that piece of land and I want to feel that it is mine.
Right.
So what you do is you get a Mexican partner. You don't have to necessarily marry them. I did. But you get a Mexican partner and it goes in their name, okay? The piece of paper says their name on it. Then you go to a notario, not to be confused with a notary. It's called a notario. That is a legal federal government office, federal regulated office that you go to, and they will do a power of attorney. I think most people from other countries understand a power of attorney.
Right.
And the power of attorney has your name, the non-Mexican, and the Mexican's name, which clearly states on it that should anything happen to the national, that the property rightfully belongs to the person on the power of attorney. Okay? There's now some people say, that can be contested. It can be contested anywhere on this planet. Right? So, now not to be confused, you can get land that is titled. With a wonderful bank note that says, John Doe owns this piece of property. It will cost you, in simple firm, 3 times what I've paid. So if that piece of paper is so important to you, but I'll tell you the secret, that piece of paper guarantees you no more than the other way of doing it. So I wouldn't advise anybody to come and move here and be isolated. It would not be a good use of time and space.
If you're interested in the prices here outside of Los Del Marcos, where Memo lives, for a 5,000 square foot lot would be about $82,000 US. And if you're interested, you can contact him. In the description, I will post all of his phone numbers and emails. Also, if you're interested in subscribing to our channel, see my face pop up on the right? Just touch on it. You'll subscribe absolutely free. And if you'd like to book an appointment with me, have a phone conversation, on the left, the box that says book now.